friends. So I am Craig, the third son, and I'm just going to share a couple of memories, very specific to me, but very influential. Mom loved fun. She was very competitive. She loved to play tennis. She was by far the best ping pong player in our family. She was outstanding. And she loved games. She loved board games and card games and parlor games. And she also loved puzzles. So that's what this memory is. After dinner, I must have been around 13, she would sit in her spot on the left-hand side of the couch, foot up on a stool. One of my dad's paintings in my mind, it's the ranch house in the gray fog. I don't know if anybody remembers that one. And I would sit next to her, and the latest issue of a magazine called the Saturday Review had a puzzle in it, and the puzzle was called the cryptogram puzzle. And in this cryptogram, it was a quote by a famous person. And each letter in the quote was substituted for another. So an E in the actual quote might be a J, and an F might be a Q. And so it was all scrambled up, but you could sort of see you could see combinations. And we would sit there, each with our own pad of paper and pencil, and we would race and see who could decipher the quote the fastest. And she was competitive and was very good at that. I attribute those moments to why I love puzzles so much, why I love games. Probably why I've spent a career in computers, because programming is basically just puzzles. And I think it all stems from that. Dad liked to teach stuff. He taught me a ton. He taught me about camping and canoeing. He taught me my first memory system, and I've been exploring memory systems all my life. Strange, that's what I do. He taught me harmonica and a ton of other things, and he taught me drawing. I would ask him constantly. I loved how he drew, and I always wanted to draw, and I would ask him, give me a lesson. One day he took an egg and he put it on a white table, and he said, draw this without any lines, just with shading. And so I had to spend the time thinking about shading and where the shading, and actually looking where the dark parts are and where the light parts are, because all it was just shading. And other lessons that he taught me were basically all about learning how to see. Because when you're learning to draw, at least for me, the instinct is, okay, I'm drawing a face, here's an eye, and then you kind of stop looking, and you just draw at that point your memory of what an eye is. And drawing lessons that he had was to make us not think about the concept, but to actually look at the lines, the form, the textures, and the values. And I think analogously, Dad was able to see people that way, where he saw them for their values. And my favorite superpower of his is how he could see people and just appreciate them and be curious about them. And I really felt like people understood that they were valued when they dealt with him at every level. So, Dad, thank you for all the things that you've taught me, for the passion in art, in politics, and filling the house full of books. And Mom, thanks for instilling curiosity, gaming, puzzling, and just a sense of silliness. So, love and gratitude. I miss you both very much.